All right, guys, Ask a Felon back with another one for you on this Saturday. This one might be a little longer than my shorts I used to post, but I'm going to go down and list some questions and answer them the best I can. Would you rather have your record erased or receive $1 million? Shit, I'd take $1 million in a heartbeat. I mean, I've done live with my record. It is what it is, but $1 million, I could start fresh all over, new, help my family and everything. So I'd take the $1 million in a heartbeat. I done paid my debt to society and all that. So yeah, I would take the $1 million in a heartbeat. No questions asked. Give me the million. Come on, family, let's go. We're out of here. Is respect earned or taken? I don't know. In my experience, it's earned. I've never been one who thinks you just it should automatically you automatically get respect. It's always you got to earn respect. You got to earn people's respect, regardless. Like, which is harder, addiction or prison? Addiction, 100%. To me, addiction was harder. That's what led up to all my poor choices and doing all the stupid shit that I did was addiction. Prison, you're in there. I mean, yeah, addiction's a lot harder. What changes a person more, prison or parenthood? Parenthood, I think. I got to experience both of them, luckily. Prison, it just makes you less tolerable of bullshit, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but parenthood makes you a better person overall because there's just something to it. There's just a feeling that comes with parenthood. I'd rather be a parent over any day over the lessons I learned in prison because I learned more lessons about being a parent. And in some ways, it made me kind of look at how I was raised. Not saying my mom and dad did anything bad. My dad, the way he raised us, he was my stepdad, and I was a stepdad to 3 kids. And I just don't understand some of the things that my stepdad did to us as kids that he thought was okay to do to kids and say to kids and let kids do and shit. But that's just a whole another video. What hurts more, betrayal by family or friends? Family, obviously. I mean, but I'm close with my family. So I guess if you ain't close with your family, it depends. I mean, like, there's a lot of people who don't have no family. I mean, so if you ain't got no family, it's going to hurt more if you're close to a friend and a friend does you wrong. But yeah, betrayal from a family hurts way worse than a friend. I know because I've hurt people in my family. I've betrayed people in my family. What's more dangerous, pride or addiction? I don't know. My pride used to be about as bad as my addiction. Before I became an addict, I had all kinds of stupid ass, foolish pride. So I'd have to say I'd say it's addiction because addiction, you are going to OD. You're more reckless with your choices to get what you need at the time. You don't care who you hurt to get the fix you need. Like, that's just from my experience. Like I said, I ain't on here speaking for nobody else but myself. So if you guys watch this, remember, these are all based on my experience, me as a person, what I feel, how I feel about it, and how my addiction was. My addiction might not have been as bad as your addiction, you know? What's more important, discipline or motivation? Discipline. I think discipline is more important than motivation because if you ain't disciplined, what's the point of having motivation? I mean, what's worse, loneliness or regret? Regret. I like being lonely. Shit, loneliness is all right. Sometimes you need to be lonely, make you appreciate things more. But regret, you can't do nothing about regret. Like, most of the time, if you regret something, it's too late to go back and change it. So, is it easier to lose? Is trust easier to lose or harder to earn? Is trust easier to lose or harder to earn? I say it's harder to earn because once you lose trust, it takes forever to gain that trust back, if you can even gain that trust back. I've lost a lot of trust. I've made a lot of people in my family lose trust in me, and I've lost trust in people before too. That shit sticks with you. Like, when I was married, I used to never say hurtful words because, you know what? I know how it feels, and you can't take words back. Words is something you got to be very careful with when you spitting them out, because then them words will stick with somebody for the rest of their life. More than if you was to hit them or something. Words stick with somebody forever. Words are more powerful than I think a lot of people understand, unless it's just me. But I know words, they never go away from me. That's why I'm always careful with my words. I don't like saying mean shit unless somebody really makes me mad and they done been dogging me big time. I'm not gonna say some mean shit that I can't take back because I know how that feels. That's been my problem. That's my whole life. That's been a problem. People say words, that shit sticks with me forever. But everybody's different. There's people out there, words don't phase them. Like words don't mean shit to them. They don't phase them at all. To me, that shit sticks with me forever. I want to know what you guys think. Does words hurt more? What hurts more to you? What's tougher, your first arrest or your last day in prison? My first arrest was tougher because I was scared to death. I just turned 18 and I had never been to juvenile, so I was going straight to jail from never worrying about, going to jail as a kid. And that was all just for not paying some fucking fines from when I wrecked a car. But yeah, my first day in prison or first arrest was the worst. First arrest, 100%. Finish this sentence. The one thing nobody sees is that people change, no matter what they look like on the outside or what you remember in your head. Like if you remember somebody from, like for example, people who remember me before I went to prison, I was locked up between jail and prison. I was locked up for over like 5 years. But if somebody knew me before prison and they hadn't seen me all this time, didn't know I went to prison, or they knew I went to prison, but they wasn't around during any of that time, it's going to be what the thing that they don't see is how much of a life-changing transform that is. If you go to prison, I don't care who you are, it changes you. It can either change you for the good or it can change you for the bad. That's all there is to it. It's going to change you 100%. It's going to change you. I don't care how tough you are. It ain't even about being tough. It's about how much you think you can handle. And once you get in prison, it's the small things: not seeing your family, not having your own freedom, not being able to take a shit when you want, not being able to take a shower when you want. What's one opinion you have that most people disagree with? That people change. That's one opinion I have, that people change. I see so many people who remember somebody from 8 years ago, but they don't realize that they lived in a whole different life. They lived in a whole different world for years. So that changes you. And the reason the people who don't see the change in somebody who, like, for example, me, I've been in prison. When I was in prison, I hadn't seen people for probably 7 years, 5 years. But then when I see them people, they still got the last vision they seen me before I went to prison. Dope head, all fucked up, out being shady as hell. But in their head, that's all they remember. That was the last time they see me. So that's the last memory they got of me. And they don't let that go. They see, and it pisses me off. It really does. For example, my stepdad, he was, you ain't changed. You're the same. I'm like, this shit happened how long ago? 20 years ago? This happened 10 years before I went to prison. I've done changed. I done got married. I done raised kids. I done been to prison. That shit changes you. Them are probably the top 3 things that will change somebody for a drastic change. Going to prison, getting married, raising kids. Yeah, that right there. But if you're still stuck in 10, 20 years of history, you're stuck in time. Ain't nothing in your life changed. So to you, nobody else has changed because you ain't seen no change in your life. You're still living the exact same way you did 10 years ago. You're still in the same mindset 10 years ago. You're still telling the same stories you told 10 years ago. Still talking about the same shit you talked about 10 years ago. So yeah, because nothing's changed in your life don't mean shit ain't changed in mine. Because prison's a life-changing experience, especially if you're in there for as long as I was. I could see maybe 6 months in prison ain't going to change much. Maybe a year in prison ain't going to change much. But when you're stuck in the same mindset and the same routine you've had for 10 years, of course nothing changes. That's the cheesiest, simplest saying that I had in prison and my program that I did is that nothing changes if nothing changes. And that's 100% true. It's so simple and but it's a big, if you change shit, it makes such a big difference in your life. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Think about it. Take a minute, sit there and think about that shit. Because it's the most truest, simplest fucking saying there is. What's one thing you miss that surprises people? I don't know. I guess you could say there could be a lot of shit that I miss that surprises people. Like I miss my wife. I miss my dog. I miss my kids. I mean, I don't know. It might surprise some people because from their opinion, they might not have known the relationship we had. They might not have known the relationship I had with my dog. You know what I mean? Nobody can ever understand it unless they're there and they've had them a lot changes when you're in a different world. Like when I got out of prison, I didn't come back around my family for a good long time because I was so busy being married, raising kids, working a job that ran me ragged. What's something you don't miss at all? I don't miss running from the cops. I don't miss having to always look over my shoulder, even though I still feel like I always have to. That's just a part that I don't think will ever go away. I always got that fear in the back of my head that are they going to come and I'm a suspect because of my record? Automatic, they're going to say that, oh, you're a suspect in this, or somebody fits your description and it was you. I've had people mistake my identity for people several times. So that always worries me. So I never really don't feel like I have to look over my shoulder. I don't know if it's trauma and it's something that I'm always going to experience and feel or what, but I always feel like I got to look over my shoulder. Even though I'm free and done did my prison time and all that, I always feel like I got to look over my shoulder. What's one lesson prison can't teach? One lesson that prison can't teach is how bad you can ruin your relationships with your family. Because, you know, there's people in prison who don't have no family. So they ain't learning that lesson that the choices you make not only affect you, they affect anybody who cares about you. I'll just put it that way. It ain't got to be family, just anybody who cares about you. Your choices not only affect you, but it's selfish because it affects the people you care about too, or the people who care about you. What belief kept you alive? It sounds cheesy as hell, but hope is what kept me going in prison. Even though I got in there, I was originally only supposed to do a 9-month program. I was sentenced to 20 years. I had two 20-year sentences hanging over my head. That's what the judge said. You're sentenced to 20 years for burglary. You're sentenced to another 20 years for the second burglary. But my lawyer approached the bench and asked, Your Honor, can he get the therapeutic community program? This is his first felon, blah, blah, blah. But I ended up getting in there and my paperwork was messed up. The judge didn't check one single box on there. So for that purpose, the DOC had me down as doing my full time. And you don't know how bad I wanted to just give up and be like, fuck it, I'm going to stay in here. I'm going to get high. I'm going to be reckless as fuck and careless in here. I might as well join an affiliation, you know? But I kept saying, no, I can't do that because my mom is how old and she might not be around in 20 years. So it's time for me to pull on my big boy panties and do what I got to do. So I got in there and I signed up for GED. That gave me some hope. Okay. So hopefully if I finish this GED, maybe the judge will modify me. I did that and filed for a sentence modification, denied me. Boom. Now I got two time cuts or two sentence modification tries left. Then I got in there and I did Mothers Against Meth. And then I did another program, filed for a time cut again for a fucking sentence modification. Boom. Denied me again. I got one left. Now that's nerve wracking. I've been in there over 2 years and I'm like, fuck, I done got my GED. I done completed Mothers Against Meth. I done completed another program. I can't remember what it was, but it was another one that you usually get time cuts for. Judge kept denying it. Filed motions saying, look, I'm supposed to be in therapeutic community. I get a time cut and a sentence modification when I'm done. Prison kept denying it. Nope, the box ain't checked. Even though the judge wrote out in my sentence, after the defendant completes therapeutic community, he can file for a sentence modification and the court will consider it. Even though he wrote them words out, because one checkbox, that simple, one small checkbox wasn't checked. Even though he told him what was going on, he didn't check one box. So that made me want to give up, but I just kept fighting. That little bit of hope. Okay, I'll complete GED. That gives me hope until I'm done with that. Once I get that done, that shattered my hope. Boom. All right, now I'm going to file a modification. I'm going to write my attorney and tell her what's going on. That didn't do nothing. Boom, shut me down again. All right, I got one piece of hope left. I'm going to do this therapeutic community, and hopefully that'll get my modification. And that is what kept me going. I got hope. I still got this. Once I do this program, once I get done with this program, I can get out. And luckily, I made it through there with no write-ups. I did have to go to the hole one time for a fight, and that was toward the end of my program. But luckily, the judge didn't take that into effect because I think I filed for my modification before then. I think it happened when I was waiting to go back to court for work release and house arrest. But yeah, hope is that little bit of hope is what kept me going because I kept getting shut down every time. But if I could find something, as long as I found something else to hope for, it kept me going. I don't know what I would have did if after I completed the program, if he would have denied that, then I probably would have said I have no hope left. I'm doing my full 20 years times 2. But with that being said, guys, that's all I got for this video. If you would, please hit that like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm thinking about doing some reaction videos on this channel to either law enforcement or conspiracy theories. If you guys would like to see some of that, besides just me talking about prison and talking about addiction, let me know. Throw it in the comments or hit me with some new questions. I go through these questions every time I get them. I try to let them build up so I got a little more to talk about. Hit that subscribe button. If everybody who watches this hits that subscribe button, I can reach my goal and I can go into more deeper details. Because there's a situation where I had a judge pull some strings for me, which shows me the system's corrupt. I know 100% the system is corrupt, and it's about who you know, not what you know. But I don't want to get into that until I got a lot more subscribers, because that's a touchy subject, and I don't know if it can cause me problems or what. But I will talk about it once I reach a certain amount of subscribers. But with that being said, guys, hope you enjoy your Saturday. Till next one, see you.